at home. And then I say, what do you study? Then they say they study the Moorish Quran. And then I start breaking down the Quranic studies. They don't know what I'm talking about. Well, what are you studying at home? Because you're not studying systematically. And this Moorish Quran tells you you're supposed to covenant. And the Moorish Qurans tell you you're supposed to seek knowledge. And what is the profit of man that don't have knowledge? And when you find knowledge, what you going to do with it? I keep telling you, how you going to say you love God or Allah, you ain't never seen him, and you hate man that you see every day. And Allah and God works through man. I didn't say I was God, but God works through man. If I'm made in his image, somebody in the flesh is going to give these teachings. So let's get back to chapter 20 to 24 in our Moorish Quran. I'm coming from part of our teaching, part of our catechism for understanding the Moorish Holy Quran, chapter 20 to 48. I'm just going to jump through it, and I'm going to jump through the Silent Brotherhood. I'm going to give some of our Quranic study guide. I'm going to give a little bit, and I'm done. But I told you about the family values is 20 to 40 to 24. How our prophet gave us the lessons of family and how to marry and all that. And what's the duty of the husbands? Remember thy own imperfections. Cherish and respect thy wife and produce children. Is that all? No. A husband must also make her a partner of his cares and instruct his children to climb the 12 steps, ladders of virtues. So when I ask Moors, do you understand that? What's the duties of a husband? They missing it. I said a husband also must make her a partner of his cares. Do you know what a partner of your cares mean? Not just I'm feeling sick and I'm feeling bad. A partner of your cares is everything about you. And instruct his children to climb what? The 12-step ladder of what? Virtues. What is the 12-step ladder? They are virtues and characteristics the Moorish American parents teach their children through what? Example. What are the 12 steps? Obedience, modesty, gratitude, charity, temperance, prudence, justice, sincerity, diligence, benevolence, science, religion. What is the child to do in return? Be grateful, assist, and support their parents in the decline of life. 25 and 30, community foundations. A holy covenant of the Asiatic nations. What is that? When people talk about Easter covenant, what is it? It's a sacred oath that binds Moorish Americans into a brother, a sisterhood, a community, a nation. Silent Brotherhood of the East. Silent Sisterhood. Now let's get into Masonry, the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Eastern Stars. Are Moorish Americans a nation of people? Yes, we are one of the Asiatic nations in America. What keeps a nation together? Bonds of affection. How does one recognize bonds of affection? Through acts of assistance, preferring not a stranger before thy own blood, love and unity. How is unity maintained? Through communications. Why is communication so essential to unity? It is the flow of knowledge, divine and earthly, and flow between the wise and the ignorant from the benefit both. What is the dominant characteristic of the wise? He or she doubts often and changes her own mind. What is the dominance of characteristics of a fool? He or she knows all things, but their own ignorance. But more talk about they know the teachings of the Quran, and I'm breaking the teachings of the Quran down. I'm being specific. Humanity can be classed into two broad economic classes. What are they? Rich and poor. What is the divine instruction for the rich and the poor? Economics, condition, rich or poor, has no direct correlation to virtue or vice. See, I can break it all down. Codes of conduct 31 to 35. Define codes of conduct. It's a set of rules outlining responsibilities and proper practices. At what time do a Moorish American adhere to the codes of conduct? Daily. And when taking their place in affairs of men, a social duty. This your Moorish Quran. This chapter 31 and 35. What are Moorish American code of conduct? Justice, charity, gratitude, sincerity, religion. What are the acts of justice in thy dealing with women? Be impartial, pay debt you owe. And if one is the cause of wrong, make a speedy reparation. What are the acts of charity? Assisting the poor, returning not evil for evil, and promoting peace and goodwill in the neighborhood. What are the acts of gratitude? Returning the benefit received, and if not able to return, nourishing the memory of the aid with kindness. What is the act of sincerity? The words are often consistent with intentions, promises, consistent with actions. What are the acts of religion? Fellowship, ritual, Other acts of devotion, the reflection, humility, and submission to Allah's law, everyday actions in society, reflect acknowledgement and alignment with the divine and nature of laws. Like somebody gonna tell you when to pray. That's for the slave. You connected to God. Don't nobody tell you when to do nothing. You tell them when to go do it. What is the esoteric purpose of knowing thyself? Acquiring the consciousness that Allah and man are one. What is the fundamental purpose of knowing thyself? It fosters a righteous perspective on one's relationship with nature, humanity, and Allah and man. It fosters an awareness of thyself from our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual standpoints. What are manifest examples manifest examples of one with knowledge of self? It's the ability to distinguish truth from error. That's what I keep telling more. They want that shake weight error, cuz. We want something free. We don't want to work, and I tell you it's the teachings. The ability to keep thy soul in moderation and a convenience of truth by stretching out thy hand for the assistance of others, by teaching our children wisdom. Who is the master of the house? The spirit. What is the master's job? To acute or to actual direct the flesh. What is the medium thy spirit uses to operate and direct thy flesh? It's the soul. What happens if the master is not on the job? Then the soul is unable to distinguish truth from error. The soul is unwilling to use its hand for the assistance of others. This is the Koranic studies, what more is going to get in school. I'm giving you the adapt teachings for what our Koranic is, chapter 20 to 45 is all about. I'm breaking down the Moorish Quran, the catechism for understanding the Moorish Quran, chapter 20 to 48. When Moors talk about they just study the Quran, I'm like, well, what's the teachings? The soul is unable to receive vision, divine inspiration. What are the actions, the tools of the soul use? Thinking, understanding, reasoning, and willing. What warning did our prophet give us about these tools? Raise them not too high, nor debase them. They are tools, actions of the soul, but not its essence. What warning did our prophet give us about the soul? Whatsoever may do good, may do harm. That's that duality. That's that heaven and hell within. That's that pendulum swinging the same way to the left as it does to the right. It directs the soul's course to virtue. How? By feeding thy spirit with what? Perfection of thyself, the knowledge of him who created thee, the sense of worship thou owe to him. What is the pinnacle of wisdom? Is to have the proper perspective on life. What does the woman have a tendency to do with life? Disregard it and neglect the present moment. See, that's why I say it's the women. They are fallen humanity. You know? How does one acquire the right perspective on life? By contemplating the series of life questions asked in chapter 36. What life principle rules to live by are followed by those that are near the pinnacle of wisdom? A good death is better than an evil life. While thy life is to other worth more than thy death, it is thy duty to preserve it. The innocent of manners are the path of good old age. Abundance does not make one rich, but economy. When I say money should circulate, the wise continues to live from his or her first period. The fool is always beginning. Do you follow me? Let me tell you, watch this. Listen to this. The wise continues to live for his or her first period. Do y'all know what that means? But the fool is always beginning. She who neglects the present moment throws away all that she has. What was the temple name given to Jesus? Logos, circle 7. Are we going to talk about it in the Silent Brotherhood of the East? This is why I be laughing. I know more is lying to people. I know y'all being lied to. You ain't got to tell me. What is the circle 7 in Act 2? What is the circle 7 in Act 2? That what the Prophet Noble Ali is his circle closed. Watch this. Yes, He was divinely prepared by our Father God Allah. What is the symbol of the front of the Moorish Holy Quran? Watch this. What's the symbol in front of our Moorish Holy Quran? A circle 7 with the circle, when I say indented, after 4 quadrants. Research what a quadrant is, or a quad. Research it. What does the circle open at the 4 quadrants symbolize? Moorish Americans striving to close their circle, to reach perfection, to imitate the prophet. What must Moorish Americans overcome to close their circle? They subdue the 5 foes of man. The 5 foes of man. Are we going to teach today? Are we going to teach today, man? We going to teach today. Are we going to teach today, man? This is what I'm talking about. I know Moors don't have the manuscripts to understand, to teach the Quran. Because you're not a teacher. You're just going on your own religious dogmatic perspective. What are the 5 foes of man? What are the 5 foes of man? Moors say they had a Moorish Quran, and I'm teaching strictly from the Quran, but I'm breaking down the teacher's manual. What are the 5 foes of man? Anybody know? It's in your Moorish Quran. Bruce Jackson, hell, you breaking it down. That's why I know. That's why I be telling Moors, it's easy to follow. That's how I know Moors when they talk about, I study at home. I'm like, you lying. You know? So what are the 5 foes of man? What are the 5 foes of man? Especially if Moors say they study the Moorish Quran. So you can read something all day, and if you ain't interpreting, I don't give a damn what you're reading. What are the 5 foes of man? I'll wait. It's in your Moor. What's the 5 foes of man? Let me get some libations. That's what Bryce Dad used to say, Isaac. Let me get some libations. Nobody know what he was talking about. He talking about something to drink.
I said, what that mean?
Hold on, Mose. Hold on, Mose. Hold on, Mose. Hey, Morris, before y'all go out and have a good time tonight and enjoy your Empress and everything, send me a donation. Cash App $KG Bay. Just imagine if you was in the temple here and all I'm asking for is a $10 donation, a $5 donation, and you would leave with pieces of my literature. The divine creed of Moorish Islam, Sufism, and the triple rule of the Adapt Chamber. Our Committed and Adapt manual. You will leave with literature. And when I go in here and do lessons, all I'll be asking more is for a $5 or a $10 donation. That's why I said when school started, when the teachers started, this is over. But see, Moors, they'll spend their money on a trinket, thinking a piece of material is going to save them. And I'm telling you, ain't nothing wrong with going out and enjoying yourself. But then when Moors come over here and I go places and people give great donations, when I teach other people, the sons of Muslims, because I say this is wisdom, and Moors won't even give a donation. That's why I said the school finna be shut down. I mean, all this is gonna be shut down, and I'm only teaching my students and my members. It won't be no more teaching on here, no more, nobody be able to get nothing. That's right, inconsistency. But noble, you can be, that's what our prophet told us. It's to commune, it's to get around with each other. That's why I said it takes all of us to build this nation. I got a lot going on. But until you come here, you can be a student. You can send your dues in. You can help me build. I can have a physical temple here. More, I had a temple out here for 3 years. My mom and my dad here. Who paid for it? Me. I had grown goofy Moors in the temple, won't pay no dues. And I'll tell you where they at right now, jumping around and around. Papa roll the Rolling Stone, wherever they laid their hat. No discipline, no commitment. I'm telling you. And I'm telling you, we can have anything. The teachers I'm teaching at the YMCA until Moors be like, hey, until I say, look, we can have it. The laws protect us. So who is the circle 7 in Act 2? Watch this. Who is the circle 7 in Act 2 of our Moorish Quran? Who is the circle 7 in our Act 2? Let's see. Who is the circle 7 in Act 2? Moors should know this if they study their Moorish Quran. If you don't know, say, I don't know. If you don't know, say, I don't know. Who is the circle 7 in Act 2 of our Moorish Quran? This is the only way we're going to teach. If Moors not going to respond, then I'm going to stop teaching. If Moors don't respond, I'm just going to stop teaching, man. Hey, because it's like I'm talking to myself. Who is the circle 7 in Act 2? Do the Moors know it? That's quoting the scripture, yes or no? Do we know who it is? I can't be in one area all day. We should know this. We should know this. That's why I'll be saying who you studying with, who you covenanting with. Nobody can make the teachers what they want them to mean. So who is the circle 7 in Act 2? I'm going to keep going. Act 2 is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Is his circle closed? Absolutely. He was divinely prepared by Father God Allah. I told y'all what is the symbol on the front of the Moorish Holy Quran. It's a circle 7 with the circle open at the 4 quadrants. I just showed y'all that. I just showed y'all that science. What does the circle open at the 4 quadrants symbolize? Moorish Americans striving to close their circle, to reach perfection, to imitate the Prophet. I know they paid the dues to them bull crap lodges and the church. That's why they don't have nothing. I'm telling you. That's why I'm going to show you. I don't even want to talk about people. I'm telling you right now. I'll show y'all the fake sheik, the fake governor. They be calling me all day. Block. I seen one at the gym. Noble. He tried to, man, if I tell you all the crap I be going through, I'm at the gym. And me and my emperor tell you. We at the gym working out, I'm training. They all looking. The goofball gonna try to come back and like more. We want to train with you. I said, man, get out of my face. Because once I see you whack, you whack. One day, me and my pops at a Sprouts, and the more see me, he look at me like, Noble, is it like that? I said, it's always like that. When y'all lying, when you following crap, you had a clean glass next to a dirty glass. You had a clean glass next to a dirty glass. Ask my pops. My pops in there right now. After I used to teach metaphysics class, I used to have tempers with these Moors when dudes was time to be paid. Them Negroes would run. I shut it down. The fake sheik came one day. I said, oh, y'all got to go. I said, man, because see, I do business the right way. I had them goofballs sign a contract. I said, I should go sue you goofballs for my money. But see, it ain't about money with me. It's about righteousness. And I see none of y'all ain't right because they're attached to you. Get all y'all goofball stuff out of here. Get out of here and leave me alone. Period. See, I'm a builder. I'm a Buddha. They in there they act like they some damn Freemasons. Like none of their wives was there. Every time I talk, the whole families will come. The kids will be there intrigued. Their empresses will be there. And then this is what their empresses will say. Well, why they ain't teaching like you, Noble? And then they having arguments at home because they empresses are meeting my wife in private and be like, well, they act like some damn domestic terrorist, like somebody owed him something. Like, why he so mad? This is what they say, like, why he so mad? He at home, he not even speaking love to me. He just came into something. Why he treating me like this? And I tell you, our prophet say you're supposed to be kind to your empress. You're supposed to teach them. And if you're not a teacher, you need to let somebody teach you. That's what I be telling people when I be talking about covenant, that you be a part of some damn, you get yourself in trouble. You walking around like some damn domestic terrorist. These is facts. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. My parents in the room, I have my parents come sit right here and testify and tell y'all all the bull crap. Them Negroes didn't even have the Moorish Quran. Not that alone. When I used to speak on it, they were like, Noble, you deep. So you talking in science and code. I say, what code? English? The governor didn't know nothing. When I'm telling you how the temples were supposed to be set up, and this certain thing that you got to go before you open a temple and for everything, it's structured. They operate on their own. And how you talk about you having Sunday school and you ain't teaching from the Moorish Quran? Man, you out of line. And then you don't have the manuals to teach anybody? You out of line. What must Moorish Americans overcome to close their circle? Subdue the 5 foes of man. What are the 5 foes of man? I told y'all: instability, inconsistency, weakness, insufficiency of knowledge, and misery. What's the main driver of the instability in man? Vanity. What is the definition of vanity? Excessive pride in one's own achievements and or excessive need or adoration from others. What are the prophet teachings about vain? Their cares are greater than their pleasures. They will do anything, good or evil, to hear the praise of others. They will do anything, good or evil, to hear the praises of others. See, I know why. Noble, listen. What you say, Noble, I'm getting pissed off. My empress doesn't even want to learn the truth. Yes, she do. Yes, she do. See, this is the thing when I say, this is the thing, Noble, and I'm glad you're here because I got, I got the women's scale. That's why I said some men don't know how to teach the teachings. I got the manuals, which just show what the women did, which just show how the women set the temples up. When I tell Moors, the women did a lot of stuff. The women carried the purse. I will show you how their guide, the women's guild, show how to be an upright woman. The reason why a lot of women don't want to know the teachings because a lot of men are dissing things, and I synchronize it. I can take that Bible that they love and synchronize this science. I get the 1599 Geneva Bible and then start breaking stuff down. They be like more and start breaking real stuff down about nationality and genealogy. They be like, why they ain't talking about this? And when I start breaking stuff down that the preacher don't talk about, and I start showing them stuff that'll make them start thinking it's a gift, and they will accept it. They will accept it. It must be taught right. This ain't nothing you can get every day. Look how long a person been lied to. And just because you may call it or somebody else may call it right, that ain't how science go. That ain't how love go. Some people search for love their whole life. Some people don't find it, but some people search it forever. The rich man, they think happiness is money, but some people search their whole life for what? Love. So if you love what you're doing, and this is dear to you, and if you operate on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, this is something that you should be implanting in your empress continuously, because her genetic makeup is she's a nurturer, and anything that you plant in her, they manifest that. You give an empress a whole bunch of beans, what's she gonna make? A fucking meal. Excuse my candor. You give her a house, what's she gonna make? A home. So anything that we plant in our empress, it's gonna multiply. So that's why when I be ask my parents every time when I taught at the temple, when the Moors are there, they empress and their children would not come. When I taught, the whole family came. They get excited. My parents in the room, they would testify. And I used to tell Moors, they used to be like, well, why am I empress listening to you? And I said, no, because I'm teaching from love. I love this. I'm teaching from this science. This is universal. You confusing it, acting like this different than this, telling them that they stupid, believing in some white Jesus. That's what the Moors be telling they. I know. I see them. How I know? Because the empress be telling me. Oh, he come on with that hate stuff. See, look, you praying to some white Jesus. And I say, see, he a lying and truth ain't in you. Because he damn sure ain't studied this Moorish Quran. Because this Moorish Quran is about the 18 missing years of Jesus' book and about unity and about our workman tools. And Jesus ain't no European. If we're going to talk the truth about nationality and then the science of the book. We synchronize. We talking about the Mohammedan, the Moabite, the genealogy of Yahshua the Messiah, the genealogy of Jesus. I'm telling y'all, man, we must be willing to step back and do what? Be there with our wife. Be the nurturer with your wife. You know, vanity blind your eye and hide the heart of a man from himself. That's right, noble. See, we're supposed to be like, if your empress not getting it, you're supposed to hold your empress hand with delicate and say, honey, we finna go to where the teachings are being taught. Where? From a teacher. You be like, we might not be there, but we can go online. We can be students. Look, sit down, and the school is going to be structured. They're going to get it because the teachers can save you. It teaches you. I teach you history and law and spirituality. It all connects. And sometimes we can't. And just like, watch, how can a person teach their empress something and they just now coming into it? What you going to tell them? What they better do? Now you call the confusion in your home. I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact. Why? Because this is what the average Moor do. He'll sit at home in Google University all day, Google University, Wikipedia all day, and be on internet like he did something, and turn right to his wife and start talking at her with a whole bunch of crap he just know he don't understand, and spit that bull crap out right to your empress, and then your empress look at you, and when they talk to real Moors in private, they be like, he ain't even about none of that stuff he talking about at home. Like he totally the opposite. Totally the opposite. But you at home call the confusion with your empress, beating her over the head because you done got on Google University all day and Wikipedia, and your life ain't even like that. And you ain't speaking love and life to your empress. That's why they ain't getting it. Because anything I give to my empress, she multiply it. When I started teaching the more science, I always teach metaphysics. My empress she love life. And she love light. And light connects to light. We on the frequency. So when I started teaching, my empress know I'm a teacher. Just like I got my worldly degrees. My empress was in that with me. When I got my bachelor's degree, my empress helped me. My master's, when I'm working on my Juris Doctor degree, my empress. That's why I'm telling you. Because she see the light. I'm not coming with hate. It helped her. It helped her be a better person, per se. It helped her be a better Moorish empress. It helped me. It helped us in our everyday life. And that's what the teachers do. What warning did the prophet teach us about vain? They who fix their soul on show, the applause and adulation from others, ultimately lose themselves, reality and respect. What is the main driver of inconsistency in man? Unrestrained impulse. What is the dominant problem when dealing with the inconsistent? They are unreliable in speech and action. That's what I be telling Moors. When I say, I don't need nobody, I don't care about likes and nobody following me. I care about consistency. I'm trying to build something. Or more like, I'm going to donate this week and next month. You a student. That's why I said in the new year, when classes start, if Moors ain't paying their dues, no more will be following me. Inconsistent. They are unreliable in speech and action. Unreliable in speak and action. What did the prophet teach to overcome our inconsistency? Firmness of mind. Established principles of action. Resolution. What is the main driver of weaknesses in women? Unrestrained desiring of things. What did the prophet teach to overcome weakness? Be content with what you have. Be moderate in the enjoyment of things. Be virtuous in the acquiring and usage of things. What people are always proclaiming, they have knowledge, leaders, and want to be leaders. How can you tell if one has knowledge? By the maintenance of justice, by their actions. What is the first step in attaining knowledge? Informing thyself of thy own ignorance. What do you mean by that? The more I know and the more I study, the more I understand I need to know. That's what I'm telling you. I'm a walking contradiction. If I say I'm a doctor, I hope y'all catching that. What is next? Labor, attention, and consistency in thy lessons. How do Moorish Americans become aware of our insufficiency of knowledge? Through our religion. What is our religion? Islamism. Islamism. Woman is consistent in many things. What is she consistent in? Misery. A lot of women be misery. Men too. When I say woman, I'm talking about woman and man. I ain't just talking about no woman, so don't get it twisted. Why? It's a part of the woman and the man. That's your higher and lower self. Why is misery a part of the woman and man? Because it's the source. It's the source. It's our passions. What leads woman and man to shameful acts? Uncontrolled passions. Why is sorrow the greatest of all human ills? Because man and woman is always doing some act and regretting it later. Oh, what? Oh, I ate too much. Oh, I regret it later. Oh, I spent too much money. Oh, I bought a whole bunch of trinkets. Oh, I ain't studying nothing. And you're going to regret it later. Or you went and bought some goofy plate and put it on your car. Or you went and bought some goofy passport and you done went to jail. What did the prophet teach to overcome misery? Exercise and reflection. It is the business of man. Exercise and reasoning. Always prepared to give account of thy own actions. Our history is chapter 45 and 47 of our Moorish Quran. What does the divine origin of the Asiatic nation mean? It means that all Asiatic nations' ancestry is divine. Divine is define the word divine. It means having nature of Allah and God alike. And are the Moorish Americans presently divine? No, we fall. What makes us divine again? Uniting with the Holy Quran of Mecca. What is the title of those who seek to unite with the teachings of the Holy Quran of Mecca? Muslims. You know? That's what I'm telling Moors. That's what I'm telling Moors. 48 is our purpose. Name some of the objects of the Moorish science. Temple of America. Teach Islamism. Uplift fallen humanity. Teach those things necessary to make members better citizens. To let the world know that there is still much wisdom to be learned from the descents of Africa. To link ourselves with the family of nations. I'm telling you, man. Those are some of the teachings. And that's what you're going to get in class. You're going to get the teachings of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. You're going to get that. You're going to get the Koranic study guide. When I say what that Quran is all about. Our Moorish literature. You're going to get all these teachings, man. You're going to get all these teachings to know what these teachings are about. The key to our Moorish questionnaire. And then I'm going to give you some elementary science when I said When I say this science right here, when I say any lower level Mason that I know, when I say they study you to a T, and once they become Shriners, they practice Al-Islam, and they study the lost and found nation of Islam to North America. They study all this, and that's when I be telling Moors, it's the science. And how do Moors, when I ask them more of this science, and I always ask Moors this basic science, watch this, and they don't know nothing. And I say I can get a lower level Mason, and I can get a lower level Nation of Islam Mason that went through teachings. They have to know these teachings, and Moors don't know nothing about the earth. And when I break the earth down, they don't know anything. When I ask them the total area of land and water of the planet Earth is what? They don't know. The circumference of the planet Earth is how many miles? I don't know. The diameter of the earth is what? They don't know. The area of land is what? How many miles? This is elementary lessons, teachings. Who is the original man? I ask Moors this stuff, and they say they know the teachings, and they don't know who the original man is. Original man is the Asiatic black man, per se. The maker, the owner, the cream of the planet, the father of civilization of God. But then when I ask Moors who is the colored man, they all get it wrong. They all get it wrong. When I ask them who is the colored man based off the teachings, because when I say the teaching, that teaches, so you won't get caught up, they say me, the black man. I say, no, it ain't. The colored man is no disrespect. The Caucasian man or the white man, because you don't even understand language. No disrespect to nobody. If you understand teachings and science, what is the population of the original nation in the wilderness of North America and all over the planet Earth? Nobody know that. And I say this elementary science, but a lower level Mason know this science. He know all this about you. That's why they're sons of Muslims. That's why they wear the fez and clandestine, because it's political and religious. That's why. The population of the original nation in the wilderness of North America is 17 million. What is the population of the colored people in the wilderness of North America? They don't know. What is the area in the square mile of the planet Earth? They don't know. They don't know. And these are the lower level teachings. These are lower level teachings. When Moors be lying, and I tell Moors, Jesus' teachings was not Christianity. It was freedom, justice, and equality. Jerusalem is in Palestine, which is Asia Minor. Jerusalem is a name given by the Jews per se, which means found in peace. And it was first built by the original man, who was called Jebus, Jebus, also Salam and Ariel. I'm going to connect everything. Moors just all caught up in linguistic apartheid because they don't want to study. I'm telling you, man. I hope Moors understand what I'm saying. Who made the Holy Quran or Bible? Long ago. Will you tell us why does Islam rename her history every 25 years? Listen to this. The Holy Quran or Bible is made by the original people, who is Allah, the supreme being, or black man of Asia. The Quran will expire in the year 25,980 years from the date of these teachings. The Quran and the Bible was constructed by who? The same people. The planet Earth, which is the home of, they say Islam, but I'm going to take it back holy. Is the home of what? The Mohammedan. I'm telling you, man, of the Moabite. And is approximately 25,000 miles in circumference. So the wise man of the East, the black man per se, the Asiatic man, makes history or Quran to equal his home's circumference, a year to every mile. And thus every time his history lasts 25,000 years, he renews it for another 25,000 years. What is the circumference? 24,896 miles, approximately 25,000 miles when we round it off to the nearest whole number. What is the diameter of the planet? 7,926 miles, 7,926 miles. What is the total square mileage? 1,946. 1,946 and 940,000 square miles. 196,940,000 square miles. Yeah. How much is the land and water? Right? 57,255,000 square miles of land. Right? 1,039,685,000 square miles of water. What is the total weight of the planet? This elementary wisdom. 6 sextillion tons, a unit followed by 21 ciphers. How fast does our planet travel per hour? 1,037 and 1/3 miles per hour. What makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes? The earth is approximately covered underwater, approximately 3/4 of the surface. The sun and moon having attracting power on our planet, while our planet making the terrific speed of 1,037 and 1/3 miles on its way around the sun. This is when Morris talked, when I be telling Morris, you're supposed to be connected with earth, so you should understand some things about this earth. The sun draws the water up into the earth rotation, which is called what? Gravitation, and a fine mist that the naked eye can hardly detect. But as the mist ascends higher, Morris, and increasing with other mists of water in different currents of this atmosphere, until when it becomes heavier than what, Morris? Gravitation. Then she distills. You know what distill mean in liquor? It distills back to the earth in the form of drops of water or drops of ice. When I talk about the Trinity or the unity, water, ice and vapor are the same thing. That's a unity, which depends on how heavy the mist was and the current of the air it was in. That's why it's some layers or currents of air. Real cold and warm are some very swift, changeable. So when the water strikes one of these cold currents, Morris, it becomes solid ice in small round drops and forms in a light, fluffy form, which is called snow. But this water is not ever drawn above 6 miles from the earth's surface by the sun and the moon. I hope y'all following me. That's the reason it rains back on our planet, is because it cannot get out of the earth's sphere. With its high speed of rotation around the sun, it makes it possible. That's why earthquakes are caused by the son of man, by experimenting on high explosions. I'm going to tell you all about the heart machine and all that. Nothing is new under the sun, man. Nothing is new. Only thing is new is because the person ain't been introduced to it. And I'm telling y'all, man, this old scholarship. Why does the devil teach the 85% that a mystery God brings all this? To conceal true God, which is the Son of Man, and make slaves out of the 85% by keeping them worshiping something he knows they cannot see, this invisible God crap. And he lives and makes himself rich. That's why the 85% knows that it rains, hails, and snow. And they hear it. They hear the thunder above. But they don't try to learn who is it or what is it that caused all this to happen by letting the 5% teach them. And he believed in the 10% on face value. That's why when I tell Morris, who is that mystery God? And I tell him it's not one. The Son of Man has searched for this mystery God for forever. Right? So I'm going to leave y'all with that, man. School going to be amazing, man. School going to be amazing. We're going to teach more science. And more science is not what you think it is. How can a person say they understand and the teachers of more science and they understand the Quran? They don't have the study guides to teach the science from love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. They just making it up. Syllabus is going to come out real soon, man. I love y'all, man. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and my 2 cents more, health and wealth, Islam.